Dear brothers and sisters, today I want to make some clarifications about the purpose of the Church and also the goals that we have as a Church and as individual Christians. Well, regarding the purpose of the Church existence, it's easier to talk about it because it's always the same. But the goals are different for different times, different societies, and even different members of the Church. And both of these aspects sometimes are understood in the wrong way. People think that, okay, the purpose of the Church is, say, to make people better, okay? That they are not so evil, not so sinful. Or some people say, well, the purpose is to preserve something, okay, to preserve some ancient faith, okay, and this is the purpose of the Church. Other people may say that, okay, the purpose of the Church is to provide some psychological relief, okay, that you feel better, okay, even though the life is bad, but you feel better, okay, some treatment. Okay, all of these things are not the purpose of the Church. Because the purpose of the Christian Church, as it's created by Christ, established by Him, is to do the testimony, is to witness Christ to the world, and to unite people with God, and thereby bringing them true life, making them alive, and bringing them the kingdom of heaven, and at the same time deleting and conquering all the evil things which are in this world. So this is the purpose of the Church. Okay, it has different aspects, but this is it. Okay, and it is always the same. So the way the Church accomplishes this purpose, okay, this main goal, or maybe I should say this is the goal, but there are different tasks, okay. The goals are the same, sorry, not the purpose. The goal is the same, but the tasks are different. So this goal is always the same, and Christ is always checking, okay, are we fulfilling the goal, okay, because the Jews at his time, they preserved the faith, everything was fine, but the goal was not met. They stopped bringing people in union with God, and their hearts were far away. Okay, so we need to remember, this is the goal. It's we cannot formalize it, okay, but we can formalize some tasks, okay, and this is also important to know for people who just enter into the Church, that when they come into the Church, they need to renounce or put their personal, individual goals and tasks aside, okay, they all become secondary. We become not just individuals, like soldiers in the army. They have all of their personal tasks and ambitions are secondary to when the war is going on, especially, okay? And in the Church, the war is always going on, okay? So the soldiers are responsible for doing the task as good as they can, understanding the task and doing it as good as they can. But unfortunately, very often, not just the people who come into the Church, but even the members of the Church don't know well what are the goals and what are the tasks of the Church, okay? So we've spoke about the goals, okay? And the tasks are different. In the ancient times, when there was this persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire, the tasks were very much different from the tasks during the later times, the post-Constantine era, okay, when the Church became predominant in the empire. Okay, but they were yet different in some other places like Persia, or okay, which remained mainly non-Christian. And in our days, okay, the goals, the tasks are also different, say in Russia, in traditionally Orthodox countries. The tasks in collective West, say, let's say, okay, the non-Orthodox but Christian background, these post-Christian societies, okay, post-modernist, okay, these places. The task of the church in these areas, in these societies, is yet different, and also in the places like Taiwan, like or in other Middle East countries, or some in the communist countries, the task is yet different from the other. So we need to know that also, to be mindful of that. And the task of priests and task of lay people, task of monks, are all different, okay? But let us say a little bit more about this, because I won't be able to say tasks for everyone, okay? But generally speaking, we can distinguish that, okay, in the past, in the times of, say, ancient Roman Empire, or in the countries like in pagan countries, barbarian countries, the task was very much directed at telling people what is true, okay, telling people what is true faith, that there is one God and not many, and the people were uneducated, and the people were pretty much they believed what they heard, okay, especially when they saw that this is the way people live, and that this really is different life, okay, different life. They saw that and they heard it, and basically they believed and they changed, okay, and they embraced Christianity. But in our days, it is very different, because everybody thinks he is super educated, okay, most people have some kind of degree, and there are so many different views, okay, philosophies, and people may believe media, okay, because it's something coming. But even not everybody believes media, okay, and the media is lying basically very often. So, but they don't really believe if you tell them, okay, this is the thing. Well, prove it to me, okay? Do you have scientific proof? Okay, they know what's science, and they need proof. So words and this kind of direct testimony is not that powerful, not that useful these days, okay? So the tasks that we have now are mainly related to sharing your love for Christ, sharing it with others, making them also love the subject, the object of your love, okay? So like, for example, you like something, you like classical music. The way you make others like it, your relatives say, they like rock and roll or something else. You cannot just say, oh guys, that's harmful music, that's bad music, just, okay, I tell you what's good music, this is good music. You say, well, I don't think so, okay, I am used to something else. So this doesn't work. You would need to sort of make them feel how good it is, how it can influence you, how it gives you some positive things, and how it helps your life, and things like that. And then maybe even they might not agree with you in conceptually, but slowly their heart will be opening. Their heart will be opening to what you like, and they might also like it. at some point and choose that and throw away what they have. So this is the task with Christ. So first and foremost, we need to ourselves love Christ. Okay, how that might sound. Okay, so the fundamental thing, okay, of course, for the church is to have, and for every Christian, is to have a solid spiritual basis. And the solid spiritual basis is based on prayer, involvement in divine liturgy and Eucharist, receiving body of Christ, and changing our life through fasting and through living, through embracing the commandments of Christ, reading gospel and making his words and commandments live in us and changing us. Okay, this is the spiritual basis that we have, and then we can establish these goals. Okay, so we should not just go and try to do things. We need some foundation for that. Okay, and once we have that foundation, we can do this our mission as Christians in a better way. Okay, because he said, "Go and teach all nations and baptize them." So he sent people. He didn't say, "Okay, guys, now just learn things, and or just live good life, or just." No, he said, "Of course, follow me. Take up your cross and follow me, and then go and be my witnesses everywhere." Okay, so we need to treat that as the spiritual task. Okay, because very often when we come to church, we say, "Okay, now it's all about spirituality, spiritual life, and it's all about some spiritual things, okay, some mystical things which are out there, and okay, God, I cannot see him, but okay, we need his grace, and all that is very spiritual." But this material life is a different world. Okay, I just do as I used to do. Okay, this is a big mistake, because spiritual life includes this world, okay, this material world and physical people, okay, and things that are done in this physical world with physical money, with physical objects, okay, and this is involving spirituality, and this is not broken apart. So spiritual things are accomplished in this material world. Okay, so we should not just go somewhere. This is like monophysite. There was a heresy, monophysite, which is a little bit like that. Okay, that only spiritual things are in the church. There was a division. So let us remember that. Let us think well, what are my tasks in my family, in my life, in my job that Christ gives me, and I am, as a soldier of Christ in this big army, I am reaching these targets. Okay, I'm putting these tasks and I'm accomplishing these tasks on a daily basis. May Lord help us, give us His blessing, and give us His power to change this world with Him, not ourselves, with Him, to make us love Him more than anything else, and share this love with everybody around us. Amen. God bless.